The Romanovs had very good art in general. They had beautiful art on their banknotes. These are lovely, oversized banknotes.
They were probably the pinnacle of banknote printing in the history of banknotes. They're just beautiful. There's incredible borders. There's all kinds of engraving and etching that goes into it. The imagery, you know, there's symbolic things going on. But even if you know nothing about it, just as a work of art, they're beautifully done.
The currency of the late Russian Empire evokes the splendor, the grandeur of the period. I mean, if you look at this, something like this, the artistry that goes into this is phenomenal, especially when you think what replaced it, what came after the Soviet Revolution. All these great grand symbols of the Russian Empire. You have Peter the Great, you have the Russian imperial two-headed eagle. All this wonderful printing. There's a great watermark of Peter the Great here. That's a 500 ruble note. 500 ruble in today's money, and this was backed by gold, so we can equate this to today's gold price. 500 rubles when this was produced is equivalent to almost 20,000 US dollars today. I mean, just this piece of paper. The 5 ruble notes, which we have here, were almost $200 of today's money.
As soon as the writing on the wall became evident after the Tsar abdicated, the upper classes of Russia, the people with money, just took their banknotes and left.
It's pretty difficult to get gold bars out of the country without being detected. It's relatively easy to get a paper out of the country. People were sewing them into the linings of their coats. They were putting them into, binding them into books.
What really scared people at the time was, with the collapse of the system, which backed these pieces of paper, all this money disappeared. Anybody who held this piece of paper, and in the belief that they had almost $20,000, it was gone the next day. And if that could happen to you in London, if that could happen to you in New York, if that could happen in Paris, if there was a worldwide communist revolution, that really scared people, understandably.
When you hold a Russian banknote from this era outside of Russia, that is a note that somehow got out of the country.
And every once in a while, a hoard of these banknotes will, pop up. Somebody had squirreled it away in an attic in some Russian exile enclave here or there.
And I can promise you that the story of how it got out is probably pretty fascinating. If only paper could talk.
Each one has a great story to tell because, again, the banknote had to get out of the country. How did it get out of the country?
There's some amazing movie plots just waiting to be written if we really only knew what that piece of currency had gone through to get out of the country.